many.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang?
Imagine this, a quiet September morning at Utah Valley University, September 10th, 2025. Charlie Kirk, a political figure known across the nation, was standing before a crowd speaking about ideas, about leadership, about the future. People were listening, unaware that within moments, everything would shatter. A young man, Tyler Robinson, 23, would change the course of countless lives in a single tragic act. He took a shot, one fatal bullet that would take Charlie Kirk from the world and leave a family, a nation, reeling. But what happened next, the story of Robinson after the shooting, is almost as shocking as the crime itself. Now imagine the picture most Americans have in their minds when a killer is caught. Flashing lights, armored cars, SWAT teams storming in, chaos, gunfire. That is not Tyler Robinson's story. He didn't go down in a hail of bullets. He didn't flee across the city, narrowly escaping law enforcement. No, he was on the run for 33 hours, and yet his capture was calm, almost surreal. He picked up a phone and called his parents. Just imagine that moment. A mother watching television, seeing photos of a man who is suspect, and her heart dropping when she realizes it's her son. The gun isn't just any weapon, it's a refile, a family heirloom passed down through generations. Her son, the image in the news, is holding it. Her mind races. What do you do when your child is accused of murdering a prominent figure? Panic, fear, but also perhaps a desperate hope to protect him from immediate harm. Robinson's parents, guided by his father and a family friend who had once been a deputy sheriff, decided to negotiate instead of calling the police instantly. They wanted to make sure their son wouldn't be shot on sight. Imagine that. A teenager accused of political assassination, and the first people shaping the story of his surrender are his own family. Robinson told them he would rather die than go to prison, and so a careful plan emerged. On September 11th, Robinson arranged a quiet meeting with federal agents, surrounded by U.S. Marshals and FBI officers. There was no chaos, no screaming, no storming of buildings, just a peaceful handover in which it almost seemed as if he was dictating the terms. For the American public watching the news unfold, disbelief was everywhere. Is this really how the justice system treats someone accused of assassinating a political leader in broad daylight? After his surrender, Robinson's treatment sparked national debate. He was not thrown into a regular prison cell, nor was he mixed with other inmates. No, he was placed in a padded cell, under 24-hour surveillance, with suicide prevention garments, no sharp objects, nothing metallic, nothing that could be turned against him. Food arrived on trays without utensils. Even pencils, paper, ordinary socks were denied. Imagine seeing that. A man accused of gunning down a father of 2, yet treated with extraordinary care. Jail officials justified it, citing his suicidal comments, the sensitivity of the case, and the potential threats, both inside and outside the facility. But to many Americans, it looked like indulgence, almost privilege. Think about his first appearance before a judge. It wasn't in a courtroom. He appeared via WebEx, wearing a padded vest, under constant observation. Every movement monitored. This wasn't punishment. This was protection. Extreme, almost surreal protection. And yet, the optics were hard to swallow. Here was a confessed killer, sitting safely in a suicide-proof environment, while families like Kirk's faced unimaginable grief. Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, now widowed in her early 30s, had to navigate life with 2 children, ages 3 and 1, without their father. She wept in hospital rooms that could have been classrooms of joy, while Robinson negotiated the conditions of his surrender. The evidence against Robinson was overwhelming. DNA on the rifle, on a towel used to wrap the weapon, on a screwdriver left behind near the rooftop where the fatal shot was fired. The Mauser rifle itself, wrapped in cloth and hidden among the campus trees, unmistakably traced to his grandfather. Hard forensic evidence, undeniable. And yet, the case carried oddities that left investigators and the public puzzled. Shell casings bore bizarre inscriptions. "Hey fascist, catch this? History will remember." And even childish taunts like, "If you're reading this, you're gay. Were these the markings of a calculated political assassin or a confused young man steeped in the worst corners of online culture? Robinson's digital footprint added another layer of mystery. Messages to his roommate, who was also his partner, appeared to be confessions. Notes found in his apartment read like declarations of intent. "I had a chance to take down Charlie Kirk and I wasn't going to pass it up," one read. On Discord, in a private group, he supposedly admitted bluntly, "It was me at UVU yesterday." I'm sorry, prosecutors called these communications damning evidence of premeditation and awareness of guilt. Yet skeptics noticed inconsistencies, messages with missing timestamps, notes that seemed edited or truncated. Some wondered if the digital trail had been staged to secure a conviction. Then came George Zinn, a 71-year-old man who publicly confessed only to be charged later with obstruction after disturbing material was found on his phone. These twists fueled more uncertainty in a case already full of contradictions. Robinson's behavior after the shooting only deepened the confusion. Former federal law enforcement officials noted he likely had no escape plan. 33 hours on the run, yet no calculated moves, no strategic hiding. He lingered near Orem, then drove toward his hometown, seemingly aimless. Texts between him and his partner confirmed he stayed local for hours. It wasn't the escape of a mastermind, it was the wandering of someone in shock, someone who had crossed a line and suddenly had no map. He just killed somebody, now he's like, "What did I just do? What do I do now?" said one former FBI agent. The chaos of action without plan was almost as chilling as the act itself. On the rooftop, surveillance showed Robinson walking with intent, a black shirt adorned with an American flag, hat low, sunglasses covering his eyes. Authorities suggested his posture hid a weapon. The timeline, 12:15 p.m., he's on the roof. 12:23 p.m., the fatal shot hits Charlie Kirk. Witnesses described screams, chaos, panic. Erica raced to the hospital only to confront unimaginable loss. Meanwhile, Robinson negotiated the conditions of his surrender. Social media captured the cruel irony. Charlie Kirk died with a bullet in his throat. His killer was cushioned in a padded room. Despite being kept alive under extraordinary conditions, Robinson remained silent. He gave no clear motive, revealed no accomplices, offered no warnings. The nation demanded answers, yet he offered none. And when psychiatric evaluations were ordered, suspicion grew. Was this a legitimate step or a move to delay justice? The contrast between Robinson's protection and the devastation experienced by Kirk's family was stark. Erica Kirk, facing sleepless nights with toddlers, watched the man accused of her husband's murder sit safe and secure. The legal process intensified scrutiny. On September 16th, Robinson appeared by video in court, padded vest and all. Judge Tony Graff read indictments: aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, witness tampering. Prosecutors made the stakes clear: premeditated political violence deserving the harshest penalty, including the possibility of execution by firing squad, a method Utah still allows. The defense argued indigence, assigned a public defender. For many Utah residents, this appeared yet another example of special treatment. Few attorneys even wanted the case, fearing public backlash. Yet the trial moved forward, death penalty on the table. This sparked heated debate. For some, the ultimate penalty, execution, was the only just outcome. For others, the treatment Robinson received suggested a system more concerned with appearances than accountability. Into this tense atmosphere came Erica Kirk herself. In a quiet interview, asked whether she wanted Robinson executed, she surprised the nation. She would leave that decision to the government. She spoke of faith, of not wanting another man's blood on her conscience. "When I get to heaven, if Jesus asks me, an eye for an eye, is that what you chose? I want to be reunited with Charlie without that stain." Imagine the grace in that statement. Amid grief, she chose forgiveness. Yet the irony remains cruel. Her willingness may pave the way for Utah to proceed with lethal injection, the method Robinson could face if convicted. The contrast is unbearable. Robinson sits in a padded, watched cell. Erica navigates raising 2 children fatherless. He negotiates his surrender. She never had a chance to negotiate her husband's life. And yet, the case leaves lingering questions. Security failures, unanswered questions about potential accomplices, contradictions in evidence. Was Robinson a lone wolf or a pawn in a larger scheme? How did he access the rooftop? Who allowed it? And those digital messages, are they authentic? These questions leave a nation uneasy. As the trial approaches, the weight of justice is heavy. Prosecutors argue the evidence is overwhelming: DNA, rifle, confessions, digital messages. The defense may challenge mental health or argue fabrication. The public sees a man treated with care while a family lives with grief. Erica Kirk's forgiveness may influence proceedings, but it cannot erase the void in her children's lives. Tyler Robinson waits, silent in his padded cell, his fate tethered to both courtroom judgment and a country still searching for answers in the wake of a political assassination. Whether by firing squad or lethal injection, his punishment could become one of the most consequential in modern American history. And through it all, the shadow of Charlie Kirk's absence looms, a stark reminder of the devastating price when politics turns deadly. The story of Tyler Robinson is not just about crime, it's about the human consequences of a single moment of violence, the complexity of justice, and the stark contrast between accountability and protection. Imagine being Erica, seeing your husband killed, your children left fatherless, and knowing the accused sits safely behind padded walls, shielded from the world. That contrast stirs debate, raises questions about fairness, and challenges the very notion of justice in the United States. Every day that Robinson sits under constant watch, Americans ask, is this care or is it privilege? And as the trial nears, one question remains. Can the system deliver justice for Charlie Kirk and for his family in a world where the accused seems almost cocooned from consequence? The answer remains to be written, but the story in all its tragedy and complexity has already etched itself into the conscience of a nation.